Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. I'm your host, Cardmaster Phoenix, here as always, bringing us some more Magic the Gathering online content today. Yet another EDH gameplay video. Today we're going to be, once again, running Lathril, Blade of the Elves. This is one of the last few games I'll be running with Lathril before I switch over to another commander. But while I'm still getting the remaining pieces together, that is going to be what's going on. For my starting hand, I have Lysander Huntmaster, Drowning Guilded Thane, Cult of Primal Hunger, Zendikar Surgeon, a Forest, Guy's Cradle, and Elves of Deep Shadow. Um, sure, I'll keep this, and then we did win a die roll, so we'll go first, which is nice. We'll go ahead and set our yield. We're up against Heliod, God of the Sun, Niv-Mizzet Parun, and Perforos, God of the Forge. Let me actually ask. Even if he's running Curiosity, because that really makes a difference on who I go after first. So it'll be my turn. First, I will draw into Greater Good. I'll play a Forest as my land for turn, and tap it to cast Elves of Deep Shadow from my hand, which is a 1/1 Elf Druid for a single green mana that can tap to add a black to my mana pool, and it deals 1 damage to me. And then I will pass the turn. We're going to see Brian play a land for turn and then pass over the Craven. Let me see. Just to speed things along. Okay. I do hate having to kick a player out, but he's left anyway, you know? So coming over to Zidua is going to play a land for turn and tap to cast Expedition Map, which I actually probably should be running in here. It's generically a good artifact. But anyway, it will pass turn after that. Coming back to my turn, I'll draw into Cabal Coffers, which is another great land. I will go ahead and play a foil Guy's Cradle. I don't think I can actually do anything with that though, because this is only 3 mana. I need 4 to be able to do something. So I guess I'll just proceed to combat and have Elves of Deep Shadow cracking for 1 against Zidua for 1, taking him from 40 down to 39, and I'll pass the turn. Using mana dorks for something other than, their activated abilities. Brian's going to play a land for turn and then tap out for Pearl Medallion, which is a artifact for 2 generic mana that reduces the cost of white spells he casts by 1. We're going to see Zidoliwa, play a land for turn, and tap out for Impact Tremors, which is an enchantment for 1 and a red that reads, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent. It is going to come back to my turn again. I'm going to draw into Imperious Prefect, which is perfect. See what I did there? Prefect, perfect. Anyway, I'll play a Cabal Coffers as my land for turn, since, I might as well. I will tap my Gaia's Cradle to float 1 green mana. I'll tap Elves of Deep Shadow to float a black, dealing 1 damage to me, taking my score down from 40 down to 39. Then I will tap my Forest for a green, floating 2 green and a black. I will cast Imperious Prefect from my hand, which is a 2/2 elf warrior for 2 and a green that gives other elves I control +1/+1. And I can pay a green and tap her to create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Of course, that is just base power toughness. It will actually be boosted. And with that, I will pass the turn. That was an amazing draw, by the way. That top deck's out of this world, because of course I can start generating more and more creatures to get more value out of Gaia's Cradle. Anyway, we're going to see Brian play a land for turn and tap out for Extraplanar Lens, exiling his snow-covered plains to effectively double up his mana. Zidoliwa will play a land for turn and tap 2 of his lands, paying for the 2 generic mana cost, and tapping and sacrificing Expedition Map. Search his library for a land card, reveal it, and put it into his hand. Then shuffle his library. He is going to find a Keep, which is a legendary land that can tap out colorless, or you can pay 1 and a red, tap it, and create a 0/1 red kobold creature token named Kobold Keep. Finally, he will use that last remaining red that he has to cast Vandal Blast, which is a sorcery for a single red that can either destroy target artifact you don't control or overload it for 4 and a red to destroy each artifact he doesn't control. He will just use it as a single red to get rid of the Extraplanar Lens, which not only makes that land stay exiled, but takes him down from 3 lands to just 2, and no longer doubles his mana. Coming back to my turn, however, I'll draw into Binding the Old Gods. I will tap my Forest for a green to use the activated ability of Imperious Prefect. Paying that green and tapping her to create a 2/2 green elf warrior creature token. I will then tap my Gaia's Cradle to float 3 green mana, and then I will tap my Elves of Deep Shadow for black, taking me down from 39 to 38 life. I will spend that mana to cast Lysana Huntmaster from my hand, which is a 3/3 elf warrior for 2 and double green. That lets me create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token, base power toughness, of course, whenever I cast an elf spell. That's great. And she will be boosted to a 4/4 with Imperious Prefect, so it's nice. Going to see Brian play a Drowning Temple as his land for turn, which can tap to add a colorless mana, or he can pay 3 and return Drowning Temple from his yard to the battlefield tapped. He'll then tap out to play his commander, which is Healer God of Sun, which is a 5/6 legendary enchantment creature god for 3 and a white. It has indestructible, and as long as your devotion to white is less than 5, Healer God isn't a creature. Other creatures you control vigilance, and he can pay 2 and double white to create a 2/1 white cleric enchantment creature token. Moving over to Zidoliwa, he will play another mountain as his land for turn, and tap out for Perforos, God of the Forge, which is a 6/5 legendary enchantment creature god for 3 and a red. It has indestructible. As long as your devotion to red is less than 5, Perforos isn't a creature. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Perforos deals 2 damage to each opponent, and he can pay 2 and a red to give creatures He controls +1/+0 until end of turn. Coming back to my turn, however, I will draw into Opal Palace, which I will subsequently play as my land for turn. Then I will go ahead and tap my forest for a green, which I will spend to reuse the activated ability of Imperious Prefect, generating another 2/2 Elf Warrior creature token. Then I will tap Gaia's Cradle for 5 green mana. And then I will use one of the 5 green and tap the Opal Palace to generate a black mana, which I will spend the vast majority of. Actually, hang on, let me see. Let me go ahead and actually also tap my Elves of Deep Shadow, which will take me down from 38 to 37 life. And I'll cast Lateral Blade of the Elves from my command zone. That will trigger Lifelong Huntmaster, allowing me to generate a 2/2 green Elf Warrior creature token. Lateral Blade of the Elves will then enter the battlefield successfully as a 3/4. Finally, since I have well over 10 total power on my board, I can cast Ghalta Primal Hunger for 2 green mana, which is a 12/12 legendary Elder Dinosaur for 10 double green. That costs X less to cast or X the total power of creatures I control, and it has trample. Proceeding to combat, I'm going to have my Elf Warrior attack Brian, and my Lifelong Huntmaster attack Shadowua. Then I'll pass the turn. Come on now. Did he rage quit? Did he DC? Looks like he might have. Oh. Coming back to Brian's turn. He'll simply scoop. Okay. Well, that's gonna really speed up the process of this game. Because I could probably kill Shadowua in about 2 turns. Shadowua will play a land for turn. just another basic mountain. I do like how they're all the exact same land. And he will spend 2 in a red to cast Grinning Ignis, which is a 2/2 elemental for 2 in a red. That allows him to pay lead and return it to his owner's hand to add double colorless in a red. And he can activate this only at sorcerer speed. Looks like he's just going to keep recasting it to get Perforos and Impact Tremors triggers. So, that's fine. It'll come back to my turn, and I will draw into Herald King of Skimfar. I will tap Gaia's Cradle for 8 green mana. Actually, hang on. No, I guess I have to do that. And I'll spend... Yeah, he's just going to concede. Yep. Alright, GG. Three, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Yeah, that was game. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I've been your host, Cardmaster Phoenix, signing out. See you guys next time. Have a good one.